Yeah.
Could you just remind us all a bit about the Message Bus, what you do, why you do it, that sort of thing, and your role in it? That's me.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So the Message Bus is is held at the Message Trust. It's basically, essentially, a mobile youth group classroom, and it's kitted out with Xboxes, Nintendos, climbing walls. Let me see. It's got a tree house. It's got a nail bar. It's got karaoke. It's got beatboxes. It's got PlayStations. And the idea is that churches and youth groups basically have a desire to meet with the youth in their communities, and we rock up for 12-week projects and essentially support them in the beginning of starting their own youth groups. Sometimes they don't do whole youth groups. Sometimes they want to do an event to maybe catapult something that they're doing in the future. Yeah. And sometimes it's just one-offs. So sometimes we go to festivals. It's really from anyone from 11 to 25, although we do have 8-year-olds on sometimes. We've had 8, 9-year-olds, and they've also had mothers groups on as well. Right. So that's the idea. I'm the Northwest bus manager, so I basically have 5, including me, bus drivers, and we we'll go to a project maybe on a Thursday. They might do 12 weeks on a Thursday, and you go every week, and they provide us with 6 volunteers, and we support them in youth ministry. It's really for high deprivation areas. That's where the Message wants it, out in high deprivation areas with people who are coming from the hardest places in life. And need to know the love of Jesus Christ and the impact of what forgiveness is. Essentially, we don't want people to come on the bus who are. You don't really have to be qualified in anything. You just have to have a story to tell.
Yeah. Great. We'll get on to how we can help you. How many buses have you actually got?
We've got 6. I think it's 6. So we've got them in, we've got the Northwest one. We have one in London, one in Cornwall, one in the Northeast, one in Lincoln, I think, and one in Scotland. So, and I think
another drive the one yourself.
I do, but in fact, my bus is poorly at the moment. It's got some poorly things going on. So we're actually driving the London bus at the minute because it couldn't stay in London. At present, it was too expensive.
I hope it's a route master. No, I was only joking. So actually, tell us, what have you got coming up in the next year? And I know you've only just recently started the job, or you've been volunteering for a good amount of time.
Yes.
What have you got coming up in the next year that'll be of interest to us?
So we've got Love Where You Live Wythenshawe, which is next week, and basically you just have to be somebody who has a heart to go out and talk to people. You might be interested in gardening, litter picking. Let me see some of the other things. Evangelism. Some people like to talk, and it's just connecting with people. So the bus is going to go to Love Wythenshawe, to Wythenshawe Park next week. We've got Love Where You Live Blackpool, 23rd of August for a week, for 5 days, and it'll be the same idea.
Yeah.
That's going to be based in a school and next to a school, a primary school, and so there's a church there. In fact, it's a cluster of churches that are wanting to reignite youth work in their area. And then I've got projects coming up from another church, Christchurch Pennington. They're doing a 12-week course in October. I've also got 3 or 4 other projects, which will be one-off days, or one's a Victorian Christmas festival, and the bus will be used then. And then next summer, we've got Festival Manchester, which is coming, and the bus will be involved. I'm not absolutely sure how yet, but it will be involved.
Yeah, no, fantastic. So my last question then is, I'm sort of here representing two churches in Cheadle, St Mary's and St Cuthbert's, Cheadle Parish. How can we, briefly, how can we help? And you've said it's mainly youth ministry, and we're actually, if we're honest, any potential volunteers, particularly if it's going to be during the day, are probably not going to be like young under 25s anyway, or maybe we'll get one or two. So what are the parameters for helping?
There are all sorts. So you can be a bus driver. You just have to have 15 hours training for that with a normal driving license. One pre-1997, I think it is. If you're not really into bus driving, though, there is the evangelism. So there is that chance to come and talk to children or youth. You don't have to be in it. There's no age limit on it. We do have.
I'll be all right then.
You would be fine. I think you need a sense of humor. You need to have a heart for talking to people, and you need to just have a story and be passionate about your story. And I think for us, the bus is the idea is that the bus represents an oasis. So it's a place for people to come and, you know, let the dust settle as much as their lives. Some children have very chaotic lives. And it's a chance for them to play on games and you to play games with them too, or do nails or whatever, and just talk. And when the moment comes for you, if you feel in a position to talk about your own story, there isn't really a there is a structure to the actual time on the bus. So we do have points at which there are times to talk, and there is somebody who'll do that. And usually we have someone either from the Message or the leader who's running the actual bus project will have a structure to it. So there's usually a 5-10 minute talk at some point during it. But really, essentially, it is about developing relationships with the children, and then when children feel or young people feel in a comfortable position, they open up and talk more. Less is more. Yeah,
absolutely. You're selling it to us really well. So just last bit of the last question then. It sounds to me, what sort of time commit? You mentioned these 12-week blocks. Clearly you don't want people like going for 1 week out of 12. An average day, what are we talking about? 8 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours? Is there a sort of rough timing?
No. So what normally happens is for help on the bus, we usually go out. We usually leave about an hour before. It depends where it is, of course. But we usually like to be there for 7. So we get there for 7
in the evening.
In the evenings, and stay till usually about 7:30. And then we have to return. So it's about an hour and a half.
Okay, so it's not huge. It's not. Evenings, not huge.
No, we do have some young academy students who are at the Message, and the second year academy students are coming with us on our project. So you don't have to be able to come every week, because these same people won't be coming every week. So I've got a set of, I don't know, 20, and it'll be 2 every week, but it won't be the same 2 necessarily. So if, you know, we realize that people would like to take part, but we have lives as well. So sometimes if you can't do it, commitment's great, but if you can't, it's always worth coming and having a look, and just coming and being a silent observer, or just, coming along. We do like to DBS people. You do need to be, there is a protocol if you want to volunteer, and there is a forms to fill out and a checks to be done. So we do all those things. But if you want to do it, just come along and see what it's like and whether you could actually do something. We do like to, encourage people to come and have a look.
Jane, fabulous. We will put all the details on Facebook or wherever on our website. You told me you've been a teacher. I think actually you're in sales. You're that good at selling. So thank you very, very much indeed.